What's up guys, Tamarakshan here. Well, iOS 15 has officially been showcased, and even though this is not a major UI changing feature backed update, well, there is certainly plenty of tweaks and refinements, and also it's more like a communication enhancement update. Well, those stuff might seem boring and dull, but to me the most standout thing is the device support in iOS 15. Whichever phones that currently run iOS 14 does support iOS 15. And what that means is that the iPhone 6s, the iPhone 6s Plus, and the iPhone SE first generation, well, they all have support for iOS 15. And to an extent, that itself shows that iOS 15 is not a very resource heavy update because these phones are like 6 years old. But this long-term support thing that Apple does is just awesome. And now let's move to iOS 15 and its features. And here I have the beta installed in my iPhone SE first generation. And what you see in the iPhone SE first generation is what you'll be getting in the iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus. Now before checking the features, the best part here is that this update doesn't slow down or create issues with the SE I'm using. I've been testing iOS 15 for more than 24 hours and the update is actually a good one. Even in beta 1, battery backup is similar to the battery backup I was getting from iOS 14.6, and also the key thing to highlight is that everything is running smoothly. But as always, please keep note that this is a beta software, so there will be bugs and issues, especially with certain apps, and I'll never recommend to install beta software in your personal device. Public release will happen probably in September-October timeframe, so it's always safe to wait for that. And also, if in case you're interested in running beta, well then at least wait for public beta versions, which will be available in July. And also one more key thing to note is that if your device by chance is a 16GB one, then after installing and configuring the update with no third-party apps installed, well, the available storage will be approximately 2.18GB. So that's the basic stuff. And now to the features that you'll get with iOS 15 in iPhone SE, iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. And in that, the first feature is communication enhancements. Now this feature is the updates coming to FaceTime and iMessage. With FaceTime, plenty of changes has happened, and in that the first thing is the new look. When you open the app, there is a create link option as well as a new FaceTime button, and in that the new FaceTime button is to start a new FaceTime call. Well, when you do so, the layout is different with your controls on the top with a message button as a new toggle. Well, here there is spatial audio support, but it's not present in the iPhone SE first generation, iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, because for that feature, you need a phone with A12 Bionic processor or above. And also portrait mode option, which is to make the videos look better with a blurring effect, is again not supported in these devices, and even the mic mode, which will help in cancelling ambient noises, is also not supported. So these cool features are not present here, but it's not like everything is cut short. You do get the copy link feature, which can be shared with anyone, so even if they don't have an iPhone, they can join that FaceTime call with the link through a browser, and also the grid layout option is present. Well, creating a video link can also be done with this toggle, and then you can share the link and join that conversation, which is a neat new feature. But here a hyped feature that is coming is called SharePlay. Well, what SharePlay does is that you can share the movies you're watching or the music you're listening to, or even you can share your screen so that others in the conversation can watch it or listen to it or can browse through it. It's an interesting feature, but at present it's not working, and I think the SE first generation, iPhone 6s and 6s Plus devices will most probably won't get this feature. Well, that's the update with FaceTime, and now with messages, plenty of things has been improved and added. Firstly, if you receive a lot of photos, they are neatly stacked so it looks clean and also it's easy to browse through them. Then you now get new Memoji options, which has made the Memoji creation more versatile and fun. Then there is the shared with you section in messages. So whatever is shared with you, it will appear in the corresponding app stating it's shared by such and such person. This shared with you thing is supported not only in photos, but also in other apps like Safari, Apple Music, Apple Podcast, etc. So that's the update with messages. And here the best part is that all these features does work in the iPhone SE first generation, the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6s Plus. Well, with that, our first major feature is covered, and now to the second feature, which is new widgets and enhancements. Well, by enhancements, it's just that some of the old widgets has been given slight improvements or a new look, and in that an example is this new look with the clock widget, and the weather widget also looks more richer, and now there is a small size full format calendar widget which all looks neat and it's also functional. Then about the new widgets, well, what you're getting is a new Find My widget which has different sizes. Then you now get a Game Center widget along with a single-sized Sleep widget, and the Mail widget is a welcome new one, but the App Store Today widget is a not so functional one, and also there is the People with Family Sharing Integration widget. I really wish these widgets were more interactive, but then probably those stuff won't work in these older devices, so in that regard, this update that has happened with the widgets is a great one. And now to the third new feature, which is the focus section. This is like taking the do not disturb option to the next level. And actually the focus setting as the do not disturb icon, and what this feature does is that you can create a much more customized do not disturb setting in the form of work, personal or sleep, or you can even give it a custom name. This feature is for tailoring the amount of notification you wish to see or receive while you're in a specific moment, like for example work. And you're after creating a focus, when you enable it, well, that focus setting will work the way you have set it. If you have set it to silence every notification, you won't receive any. Well, this turning on thing can be automatically done or it can be done manually, and yeah, there are plenty of settings you can set. It's like creating a mood for a specific moment, and this feature is a handy one. And also you can set a status to signal your contacts that you have turned such a focus option and you won't be receiving their notifications. So that's the focus section, and here it all works well in these older devices. And now to the fourth feature, which is updates to Safari app. This change is kind of big and also a well thought out one. Here in this update, the first thing that we'll note is the relocation of the search or the Ender website page. It's now moved to the bottom of the screen, so it's now more easy to access, especially if your phone has a big screen. Then there is the new tab bar design, which looks sleek and also it does fades into the background pretty well to maximize your screen space. The tabs are also now located in the bottom portion of the screen, and switching between tabs is also very easy because it can be done by just swiping through them. Then there is a new tab groups option with which you can create a new tab group for maybe a topic you're working on, and then you can open tabs for that topic in that tab group. And the best part is that these tab groups that you will create, well, that can be accessed through your Mac or iPad if they are running the latest software. Then there is a voice option available, so you can search for contents with voice dictation. And finally, you can now install extensions in Safari for iOS. Now under the hood, there is more privacy and security updates happening, which is always a welcome thing. And here also, all these features, they work well in the iPhone 6s, 6s Plus, and also the iPhone SE first generation. And now to the fifth new feature, which is the redesign to the weather app. This change does make the weather app look more lively, and also the info is portrayed in a better way. With this new update, the weather app's animations looks much better, and also everything is more colorful. Then about the sixth new feature, well, it's the revamped new notification system. Notifications now are all displayed in a more easy to distinguish pattern because the messages have the contact photo with name, and the other app's notifications, well, they're displayed with a bigger icon. Then a notification summary format is now present, so notifications will be grouped intelligently by priority and relevance. This is a more AI thing, and it should work well as you use the phone for a longer period of time. And now for the seventh change, and it's the Photos app enhancements. Well, here the first change is the new interactive memories section. The memories that are created in the Photos app are different with more immersive feel, and also the personalization options are better. And also if you're an Apple Music subscriber, songs from Apple Music will be set as your background music for your memory. Then if you check a Photos info, much more details is now available, so that's a good change. Well, that's with the Photos app enhancement. And now to the eighth new feature, which is the update to the Maps app. Well, here Apple Maps has been redesigned to give a much more immersive city view with plenty of details for roads, neighborhood trees, etc. But this feature is not available in the iPhone SE first generation, the iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus, and in fact it will be available only in iPhones that have the A12 Bionic chip or later. Then the other changes happening in the maps is the new driving feature, which will be available in selected cities, and also a new transit feature is added. Well, these are showing here in the older devices, but then another major change, which is the new immersive walking instruction feature, well, that won't be coming to the iPhone SE first generation and the 6s series. Well, that's all the changes with maps. And now to the ninth change, which is the Spotlight search enhancements. Well, Spotlight search will now provide much more richer results, and even photo search is possible. You can search about an artist or a sports legend, and the information will be showcased in a better and a clearer format. And also, like I said, you can search for photos too. Then also if you search a contact, it will again be displayed in a cleaner format. Well, these all work fine and it's a welcome change. And now to the 10th new feature, which is iCloud Plus. Well, this is a subscription service, and it's like an add-on thing to the iCloud subscription service that's already available. And here the extra stuff is the private relay, which masks your IP address and Safari browsing activities, which is kind of like VPN. Then the second feature that will come with the subscription is that your email address can be hidden if you want to send an email to a random website, etc. Well, this hide email option will be available later. And also with the iCloud Plus, there is more stuff like HomeKit secure video support. Then moving to the 11th new feature, well, it's updates to Siri. Siri can now share on-screen items. Then there is also under the hood enhancements with Siri. But here more than that, the striking feature is the offline Siri support, which sadly is only going to be available in iPhones which have the A12 Bionic chip or later. So with the iPhone 6s, 6s Plus and the iPhone SE first generation, this offline Siri support won't work, and what offline Siri support does is that you can do limited things without an internet connection. And now to the 12th new feature, which is updates to the wallet app. Well, this feature is also very much limited to older devices, so basically you're not getting the new keys for everyday feature in which you can add your own key or your garage key, etc. But then I think later when the ID card becomes available, which is storing your IDs like driver's license in your wallet app, well, it should work. Then while checking the 13th new feature, well, it's updates to the health app. Well, now in the health app, there are better ways to share your health data with your loved ones and healthcare team. Then the next thing is a more advanced stuff like a metric to assess the chance of falling. This is for understanding your walking steadiness, and actually it's a great new feature, and the best part is that it's showing up in the older devices. Well, that's with the health app updates, and the next one is the 14th new feature, and sadly it's not available in the 6s series and the iPhone SE first generation, and in fact this will only be available with iPhones having a A12 Bionic chip or above, and that feature is the live text capture. Well, this feature is kind of like Google Lens, and what it does is that if you point your camera towards a text, you can extract that text and then copy it somewhere. And this feature, it also works in photos, and the way it works is that when you open a photo which has a text, well, it can be selected and extracted from the photo. Now here you can also do translations to a text with this live text capture feature, but like I said, none of this works with these older devices. And the same is applicable with the 15th feature, which is the visual lookup feature. This feature is also not supported in older devices, and what this feature does is that you can get information about an object in a photo with this feature. Well, these are a bit more complex features, and it's understandable that these won't work in iPhones with older processors. But then some of the other changes like the UI cleaning in the settings app is present in older devices, and now I like the settings menu. It looks more simple because of this center tabbing, and also if you're wondering about new wallpapers, well, with the first developer beta, there is just one wallpaper, and its theme changes based on the light and dark theme set on the phone. And one more last new feature is the magnifying app, which was previously available as a toggle in the control center. Well, these are the main new features and changes here, and most of the features is supported in the iPhone SE first generation and the 6s series, which is a great thing, but some of the intense AI ones are obviously not supported. Now I'm not worried about these omissions because it was almost like 100% confirmed that the iPhone 6s series and the iPhone SE first generation won't be supported with iOS 15, but Apple has totally surprised us. Now since this update is not a very feature heavy one, well, even in beta 1, things are smooth with the 6-year-old devices, and you're on top of all these new features, the best thing we are getting is security and privacy updates. And here the privacy update actually extends now in the Mail app too. And these things alone does make the 6s series and the iPhone SE first generation a phone that you can totally use without any issues till 2022. That's all for this video, guys. If you like the video, please do support the channel by subscribing, and also a like to the video will be just awesome. And if you're interested in knowing anything particular about this update on these older devices, please leave that in the comment section. See you again in the next one. Till then, bye.